marking history.
I'm very excited to see that this many people are really interested in our heritage.
See the rededication of historical markers in one of Irving's oldest communities and find out about the surprise discovery that stirred interest in this area's past. Planting before putting.
We're getting close to finishing up. It's exciting. It's an exciting time.
See the work underway at the city's municipal golf course, and we are sharing the new name it will have when it reopens. Generating power, generating interest.
I like that because I'm, all about let's save the environment. Let's, conserve water.
Find out about the energy milestone recently surpassed at the West Irving Library. Plus a warning from TxDOT about a hazard on the roads, and we are inside a hotel unveiling extensive renovations. Now on City Source. The summer heat is unrelenting and potentially unhealthy. We have expert tips for surviving the summer. Hello and welcome to City Source. I'm Thomas Gandy. That story is coming up. But first, recognition from one of Irving's oldest communities. Descendants of original Estelle community residents turned out for the rededication of historical markers in that area. We heard from them and others at the ceremony. Hard to imagine from the overgrown brush here now, but decades before Irving was even a city, people had built their lives here. A few years back, people visited this site and made a discovery.
We were just out here looking around and we stumbled across a little piece of concrete and kind of started scratching the ground and found out that it was the foundation of the school.
It was the school for the Estelle community, which was established in the 1850s. Pictures from the Irving archives show some of the students there. That community was on this land off of what is now Valley View Lane. And that discovery in the brush stirred interest in the site's history.
It would have been completely lost because you couldn't see it.
Volunteers cleaned up the area and started organizing. That ultimately led to this day's big event.
Today we're having a rededication of the Estelle community marker.
The Heritage Society marker tells some of the history of the area. Descendants of original residents returned to see it.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Property for the Estelle School and the cemetery were donated by my great-grandfather in the mid-1800s.
This was a center of commerce. I mean, they had a cotton gin. They had an immense amount of farming that was going on here with corn and wheat and cotton.
A short walk away, more stories from the past.
They left with an ox team. They went to California chasing gold.
As they unveil another marker. This one for Harrington Cemetery.
We're so appreciative of this recognition for this cemetery and just of our family in general.
It's important for us to take a step back and realize how we became the city that we are today. And it's a combination of all these different areas.
The Estelle community declined in the 1940s as Irving surged.
Irving has grown from the horse and buggy days. In 1953, it's a thriving city.
As Irving began to grow, it started annexing, and by the 1950s and 60s, it was reaching out all the way here to Estelle, to this community.
They are the roots of what became a booming city and region.
And you think about it, this is what the first people saw when they came here and decided, you know what, this is where we're going to build a community. This is where we're going to make a commitment to live.
Now this land is owned by the Irving Independent School District. Other parts of the former Estelle community belong to DFW Airport. Whatever eventually develops around here, the markers will stand.
I'm glad, I'm excited that the markers will be a reminder of what life used to be here.
Well, I think it's not only important for the younger generation coming up through Irving to share the history of Irving. We've got so many great stories to tell.
Stories of the history of Irving, told by those whose families lived it.
We have a lot in common.
And shared for everyone to read. A previous marker placed on that site for Irving Centennial had been damaged, so this one is a replacement. In our ongoing series on infrastructure called Investing in Our Future, a check of progress at the Municipal golf course, formerly known as Twin Wells. Our team paid a visit and got a great view from the air as crews put in new grass sprigs on the fairways. Along with that, you can see they've planted sod around the sand traps and greens. Next, it's a matter of waiting as the grass grows and matures and becomes ready for play. As we have reported, this course is getting $5 million in renovations, including new drainage and irrigation systems. Golfers will also get to experience a new course layout when it reopens. It will also have a new name.
Irving Golf Club. That was something we had a public input meeting. We talked to a lot of residents. One of the things that came out of that is the Mustangs is something that is kind of a sign of Irving. People really embraced that, so they wanted that in the logo. And they wanted the Irving name in it. They wanted to make sure that people identified it as a municipal course.
Most of the golf courses are private in the city of Irving, so now there's going to be one that's public that people can utilize. And so it's an opportunity for those residents who are just average golfers who really don't want to go spend those type of dollars to commit to be a member of a club to actually have some place to come play.
That logo that Joe Moses mentioned is still in the design phase. The Irving Golf Club is scheduled to reopen late this year. The West Irving Library is marking a milestone in energy efficiency. You may remember it was built with a lot of green features. Now that the library has been open for a few years, we paid a visit to see how they're all working out. Yeah! Some children are getting their first chance to play a violin.
She really likes instruments, but I mean, I've never physically put a violin or a trumpet in her hands, so it's really good that she's getting to have that experience.
The music is part of a program presented by the Las Colinas Symphony Orchestra at the West Irving Library. The kids get to see a lot of instruments, but there is more to the story we are here to tell. That trombone he's playing is obviously powered by air. The lights overhead, that's less obvious. They are powered by the sun. More than 1,400 solar panels are outside, and they have helped this building achieve a milestone.
We've reached 3 million kilowatt hours of power generation with our solar power system.
And there are other green features here. Back in 2010, at the earliest stages of the library's construction, crews installed geothermal wells like the ones you see here. They go very deep into the earth to help heat and cool the building.
With all the piping that's in the ground, it's about 14 miles of piping.
Most visitors to the West Irving Library probably don't even realize all that's happening below ground and what's powering the computers they're using, the self-checkout machines, and even those cool color-changing lights in the storytime area. Librarians say that's how it should be.
Our job here is to check out books and to help customers and to do story times, and we're able to do that, and it does not impact our day-to-day life. We hit the buttons in the morning and the lights come on. We've also got a whole collection of books on how to add solar to your existing home.
Sometimes people notice the energy-efficient features and want to learn more, so the library has some books to help answer those questions. The most common one they get is about what happens on cloudy days and at night.
Those times when the sun isn't shining or there's clouds, we do get power off the utility grid. But then at times when we're making a lot of energy, we're able to put power back onto the grid.
Even more answers are here. In the lobby, every visitor passes a monitor that explains solar energy and tracks stats of the energy savings.
This is the total CO2 offset of 54,281 trees, and the gallons of gasoline saved, 244,000 gallons of gas saved.
And up here, this is what it all comes down to, right?
Exactly, a LEED gold building. Yes, we're very proud of that.
All across the city, the Irving Convention Center, South Irving Library, and Fire Station 12 were all built to achieve a level of LEED certification. It's part of city policy for new buildings.
I like that because I'm, all about let's save the environment, let's, conserve water, let's conserve energy. So I really like that they made it a point to put those different pieces that seem small, but they're really a really big deal.
Initiatives that are music to the ears of this mom and Mother Earth. Grant money paid for a lot of those energy-efficient features at the West Irving Library. And by the way, the South Irving Library also has some green aspects. Geothermal wells, like the ones we told you about at West, help to heat and cool the building. These special windows also help control the temperature at the South Library. They automatically react to sunlight to help keep the heat out. And at this time of year, everyone wants to beat the heat. Brett Wheeler has some expert tips to help you protect yourself, your pets, and even your cars.
Summer is in full swing, and that means only one thing.
Say it's too hot.
Too hot.
The heat's come on a little bit early this time of year, but normally people get outside, they haven't climatized yet, and they overheat rather quickly.
That's right, and even though the summertime means more time at the spray parks for these kids, it also means everyone needs to take extra care during the dog days of summer.
Paramedics in the summertime, we run on people that get outside and they overdo it in the heat. The main thing is people have to know what their limitations are and stay hydrated. My recommendation is you drink plenty of fluids. If you got heavy work to do in the afternoon, cut it off. Do it early morning or late in the evening, but don't overheat. It's easy to do in Texas weather. And listen to your body. It'll tell you when to slow down and cool off.
Also, make sure to keep that AC up and running.
But also there's box fan programs out there where you can get fans set up in your house.
Your home isn't the only thing you should keep cool this summer. Also think about how the heat can affect your vehicle.
When we're talking about the summer months getting underway, again, a lot of folks getting ready for their road trips, or they're going to be out and about more, just doing fun summer activities around town. Really need to pay attention to the maintenance of your vehicle, because the heat can really play a factor on how well your vehicle can perform.
AAA Texas says the heat can delay your daily drive in a big way, and you wouldn't want to get hot and bothered if your car is stranded on the side of the road.
With the heat, AAA will come to the rescue of more than 330,000 vehicles probably over this summer. In Texas alone, nationwide, more than 7.7 million. The biggest problems we see: battery issues, flat tires, as well as engine cooling issues.
And of course, never ever leave a child or pet inside the car alone.
Any length of time, 1 minute, 20 minutes. The results can be dangerous as well as deadly.
If you wouldn't leave your kid in the car, don't leave your pet in the car. There's no reason, there's no excuse for it. And it's just, a few minutes and that car gets so hot.
Animal Services veterinarian Kate McManus says pets are just as vulnerable to the heat as humans are.
I mean, we had a dog we picked up that they thought was hit by a car because she was just laying there breathing really hard. And I was like, take her temp, and it was 109.
When animals come in with that high of a temperature, the outcome is often fatal. But if you think your pet is getting overheated, there are some signs to look for.
Well, you just want to keep an eye on your pet, make sure it's acting normal. Certainly a normal pant is okay, but if they got that full mouth pant, like big old tongue hanging out, drooling, they may just kind of splay out to really try to cool themselves, not want to walk anymore. Those are definitely signs when we should be getting concerned that the animal's overheating.
The bottom line: stay hydrated, stay cool, and stay informed. And with those tips, hopefully you won't get burned this summer. Brett Wheeler for City Source.
Dallas County Health and Human Services tracks the number of heat-related health issues. At last check, more than 250 people countywide have suffered some form of heat-related illness. That number could actually be higher because not every case gets reported. Now to an update as Irving fights the bite. An Irving resident is the first in Dallas County this year to contract West Nile neuroinvasive disease. The patient is a resident of the 75061 zip code. Also, Dallas County Health and Human Services reports several mosquitoes caught in Irving traps have tested positive for West Nile. On our most recent edition of ICTN's Open Line, Code Enforcement Director Teresa Adrian talked about the City of Irving's response this mosquito season.
We have a very committed team of folks that do the vector control here for the City of Irving. Basically, they do trapping and they do testing, and then based on the results of those tests, then they do treatment. The minute we have a trap that has infected mosquitoes, based on the test results, we'll get out there and get that spraying done in the neighborhood so that we can stay on top of it, and they really do a fantastic job.
Yeah, and the City of Irving's mosquito hotline is 972-721-3755. That's the number to call to report stagnant water or other mosquito activity. Prevention tips and spraying schedules are at irvingfightsthebite.org. Along with heat and mosquitoes, another part of summer is taking vacations. The Irving Police Department has a program that can help keep your home safe while you're away. By signing up for Vacation Watch, a beat officer will check your home daily and follow up upon your return. Sign up at cityofirving.org/884. That website also has a lot of steps you can take to protect your home before you leave on vacation. The Texas Department of Public Safety is working to warn drivers of a potential hazard on the road and also reminding people how to prevent it. Brett Wheeler was at an event all about securing the load.
there are a lot of precautions you need to take before you hit the road. That's right, we all know about the need for seatbelts and to avoid distracted driving, but another hidden hazard of the streets is to make sure you secure the load.
In Texas, in the last statistical year, which was 2016, 395 crashes were caused by a load not being secured in a vehicle. 47 of those involved injury or death.
The Department of Public Safety showcased some of the debris that leaves many motorists grinding their gears. In fact, according to the U.S. Department of Transportation, at 55 miles per hour, an object that weighs just 20 pounds that falls from a vehicle can strike with the impact of half a ton. And in North Texas, it happens more than you think.
Since 2016, there have been, in Dallas County alone, 175 crashes attributed to unsecured loads falling onto the roadways, with 167 injuries involved.
I'm a big believer in secure your load because my personal vehicle has actually been hit before, in which there was a muffler on the middle of the road. A truck goes over it, no problem. My car was a little bit lower, I couldn't miss it, and ended up hitting it too. So I've experienced it firsthand.
While you may see some debris on the side of the roads, there are some precautions you can take to make sure whatever you're hauling doesn't end up as a roadside hazard.
Don't overload your vehicle, tie it down, be safe, be secure, act like as if somebody behind you is somebody that you love, because it is to somebody else.
And if we all keep that in mind, that's one less thing to drive us crazy. Brett Wheeler for City Source.
The city is now accepting applications for its popular civic academy called Irving 360. As we showed you in our report from last year, participants in Irving 360 get an up-close view of all aspects of civic government, all with the goal of promoting resident involvement. The free program generated a lot of interest the first time it was offered, which was last year, and the city narrowed down the list of applicants to a group representing a cross-section of the city. Find the applications at cityofirving.org. They are due on July 24th. In other news, the Irving Convention and Visitors Bureau often reminds us that the hotel business is important to the city. So when we heard about a big renovation at a property in Las Colinas, we wanted to check it out.
We are celebrating the re-grand opening of the Homewood Suites by Hilton here in Irving, Las Colinas. We have just gone through a $5 million renovation, have brand new guest rooms, lobby.
It's a great reinvestment into this area.
It looks so fresh and new and as though the hotel was just built.
Now that the renovations are complete, it's breathed new life into the hotel.
To the guest rooms, they have all new carpet, furniture, appliances, you name it. It's just been completely gutted and redone.
All new bedding, new mattresses. I gotta tell you, we probably have the best mattresses in all of Irving now.
We've knocked out walls and made a whole new business center, and the meeting room has been renovated as well.
I mean, one of my favorite things about this property is being able to go out the backside and just walk down and you're right on the canal. It's got a great little access to the promenade around the canal, and that's a lovely, lovely amenity that not everybody has, and I think it gets overlooked sometimes.
It's a great place for them to stay. It's a great central location. It's close to the Toyota Music Factory as far as entertainment. It's also close to many of the office buildings.
This has been part of the Irving community, the Irving hospitality offerings for a really long time. It was one of the first properties here in the urban center, and it offers something to the traveler who's probably going to be here on a longer term assignment than your traditional business traveler.
We have travelers that come and stay 2 nights a week. We have travelers that come and stay years. So we're primarily an extended stay hotel. Our rooms are designed to fit the need of an extended stay traveler. We typically sell out every week. We're very busy, and we definitely want to provide the best accommodations for the guests that we serve.
Great occupancy. They have great customers that come back week after week and year after year, and we love that about them. But it's also important for these properties to keep up with the neighbors, and that's kind of a little bit of what you're seeing happening in Irving right now too, with so much new coming online, particularly in the urban center, but even up and down our other corridors.
We've seen a lot of new renovations, a lot of new hotels pop up, and if you're not new or you're not renovated, then it's very tough competing, and we just owe it to the customers.
And when you see someone that comes in and spends the dollars to make sure that it's brought up to a new standard as Hilton has done here, it's exciting.
Yeah, we're just excited to be new and provide the best accommodations for our guests and be part of everything going on in Irving.
Need to see all that? And a reminder, you can catch up on any related stories you may have missed. Look for the Business and Economic Development playlist at youtube.com/the City of Irving. There is still a little bit of time to visit the Fritz Park Petting Farm before it closes for the season. As you see in this archive video, it gives kids and their families a chance to interact with some farm animals right in the heart of the city. It is open through July 31st. The hours are 10 until 6, Tuesday through Saturday, and 2 until 6 on Sunday. Fritz Park is located at 312 East Vilbig, and visits to the petting farm are free. And with that, it's time for our Pets of the Week. Here's Brett at the Animal Care Campus.
Hello everyone, I'm Brett Wheeler. This is Michael Whiteside, and you're watching Pets of the Week. And Michael, we have 7-year-old Connie. Tell me about Connie.
Connie, as you can tell, is pretty much a snuggler. She was actually found as a stray. Again, loves to snuggle, but she also enjoys playing. She does actually enjoy playing with some toys outside. She gets little bursts of energy here and there, but she is a pretty quiet girl. She can get a little nervous sometimes, but that's kind of typical for Chihuahuas. And she seems to do well with other pets also.
So as far as family setting is concerned, what do you see would be the perfect home for Connie?
You know, I think most likely she's going to want to be in a quiet home. Kids might be okay, but she seems to just kind of want to chill out and relax. She's older, so she's probably more accustomed to a quiet place, either a single person or, somebody that doesn't have kids running around making a lot of noise. But I wouldn't rule that out, but I think she's going to do better in a quiet environment.
One of my favorite things about the DFW Humane Society is that you have animals from all shapes and sizes. So who do we have here?
This here is Velia. She is a little over a year old, and she's new to us. She was brought into City of Irving Animal Services. Somebody found her as a stray. She's got a lot of energy. She's still very much a puppy, even at a year old. But, she's really friendly. She's already given lots of kisses to everybody that she meets, and she just wants some attention. You really want to make sure that you have the time to devote to spending time with her, getting her some exercise, as well as spending some time training and teaching good manners.
All right, Michael, now from dogs to cats, who do we have here?
This little one here is Maybelle. She's about 2 months old. She's part of the numerous kittens and cats that we still have here at the Irving Animal Care Campus, and I think she's gorgeous, but I'm kind of fond of white cat.
What should you be prepared for when you take in a little kitten like this?
Kittens typically have a lot of energy. They're going to run around, they want to scratch things, so you want to make sure you have plenty of toys for them to play with. You have scratching posts, anything that you can do to try to deter them from scratching furniture, because that's one thing they're going to want to do. But also, sometimes with a playmate, that makes it even easier to get them acclimated and get them used to just playing with another cat instead of playing with your furniture.
Obviously, she is so adorable, but this week you are continuing your cat special. Tell me about that.
Yep, through the rest of July, all cats 1 year and older are going to be free to adopt. All kittens, like Maybelle here, are only going to be $50 to adopt, and that's campus-wide, so both DFW Humane Society and Irving Animal Services. It's a great deal. You still get all the benefits of our normal adoption fee with just a little bit of a discount or free for the 1 year old.
It sounds like a good deal. Thank you so much, Michael. I really appreciate it. And if you're interested in a forever pet, come on out here to the Animal Care Campus. Back to you, Thomas.
All right, Brett, thanks a lot. The Animal Care Campus is located at 4140 Valley View Lane. It is open Tuesday through Friday from 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. Then on Saturday, the hours are 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. Also, check out the websites you see on your screen for more adoptable animals. A campaign aims to educate drivers on the dangers of distracted driving. That story next time on City Source. Also, children are refining their sports skills while building positive relationships with police. We'll take you to summer hoops and kicks, and see a new housing development under construction in Irving, and find out how it is part of a boom in the building of new homes. And we have a very special story from Canine Companions for Independence. It's graduation day for one dog. We have the emotional journey for the family who raised him, and what's next for the family and the dog. And remember, you can always email us your thoughts on our stories. The address is ictn@cityofirving.org. Also, visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/thecityofirving. Hit subscribe, and you can be among the first to see our videos when they are posted. Also, leave us some likes while you're there. And that's it for this edition of City Source. We leave you now with more of the work underway at the Irving Golf Club. Thanks to everyone who is a part of this one, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.